G'day there, my name is Hannah and this is going to be my review of Ahsoka Episode 5. The opening of this episode was coming off the back of a very climactic and cliffhanger episode 4, but I think they did a really good thing here where they didn't give us straight into the scene of Anakin and Ahsoka in the World Between Worlds. They made us wait that just a little bit more, showing us Hera and Huyang on the planet of Cetos, and Jason seemingly being a bit more aware of things and wanting to check things out. This was a really cool setup for these characters and just this little plot line of what they're doing. But I really love this whole point of like this effect of this scene not jumping straight back into it, because we were all hanging off the ceiling. Is that a phrase? Hanging off the ceiling waiting to see Anakin. We then, after the title card, finally get our Anakin and Ahsoka scene. Jumping into this was beautiful. The production value, the look of this, the CGI of everything was immaculate. My goodness, I really thought I was in space. I was in the World Between Worlds with them. Everything looks really expansive and big. It was really, really beautiful. When the duel started to begin, I was quite taken back. I couldn't quite understand why they were dueling just yet, but I found that really interesting, and it was a really cool duel. The moves were very Hayden, very Anakin, and the moves were very what I thought would be Ahsoka. I really liked the movement of this beginning of this duel. And then for it to flow into what we got next was incredible. I didn't mind flashing back to seeing what Hera and Jason were doing back on the planet. I think this kind of broke up what was happening in the flashbacks really well. So I love that we got to see little Jason starting to hear what was happening. He could hear those lightsaber sounds and he was feeling through the Force what was happening. That was a really cool note. But getting straight into the flashbacks of this episode, which was one of the most incredible things we've ever seen in live action Star Wars, in my opinion. Again, this is coming from a bias, but everyone is going to have bias. I'm a very big Clone Wars fan, so this was just the pinnacle of all live action Star Wars for me, to see such iconic moments and feelings with these two characters that we've gotten to know so well through animation on the live action screen. I have a full entire video just talking about these scenes and what they mean. So if you want to hear me more talk about in depth what I think of those scenes, definitely check that out. But briefly, the production look of it all, I feel like they just could have been a bit bigger, but I don't want to focus that on too much because the meaning we got with these scenes was so important. But as a production, I feel like we could have gone a bit bigger. Like, I appreciate the smoke because it's this Force realm, but I feel like there could have been a little bit more color or something with these flashbacks. I think going into the different time periods, they did really well to show the different points of Ahsoka, you know, her quite young, her in the middle of the Clone Wars, and her in the Siege of Mandalore. I think that was really great decisions, really iconic, you know, outfits and, you know, points of where Ahsoka's character is at, and her dynamic with Anakin and was just perfectly portrayed here. Hayden's performance of Anakin is just flawless. He looks amazing. I don't even know at what point is he de-aged or not de-aged at all, but his performance just sold the character in this point in time so well. It didn't at all feel like, oh, this is old Hayden trying to portray something else. This was Anakin Skywalker in front of us. I do think having Dave Filoni as the key writer and especially director of this episode was really, really key, because I think he would have given a lot of notes of how the voice of Anakin in Clone Wars, Matt Lanter, portrayed Anakin, and I feel like he gave Hayden those notes as well, so we can kind of meld this slightly kind of different angled version of Anakin through the Clone Wars to the live action. So I really feel that kind of come through here in Hayden's performance. Not to lessen Hayden's like importance of being Anakin Skywalker, but I think it just kind of melded these two versions of the character a little bit for me. I really, really enjoyed that. His portrayal is just immaculate. It's so good. The conversation that they share and the different dialogue that they have through these scenes is really pivotal, and coming back, you know, blasting back into the World Between Worlds, and we have Sith Anakin switching in between, and he's got the Sith eyes, was so beautiful to see. And, you know, Ahsoka in this climactic kind of confrontation is faced with him. That was incredible. I got goosebumps that whole time. And in the climax of that moment where she could have struck him down, she didn't. She chose to throw that saber away and chose life. I think this was such an important character moment for her. She had to choose to become a warrior, to master her emotions, to overcome. And in that moment when he turns back from Sith into light side Anakin, it shows anything really happens to the Force. The Force was just portraying something here. So it's not like Anakin was set in one way or another. So that's why he was so easily could switch back to light side Anakin. I think it was such a beautiful moment for Ahsoka's character here to see that and also overcome it. The moment where she hears that crack of thunder, we have the pan, and then Anakin has vanished. I was so sad. I loved this whole, just everything about these scenes so much. And again, Hayden's performance is perfect. Oh my God, I want a whole show about it. But I was so sad to see him go because he was just so phenomenal. But the story moved on. It's not like, this is what I love about this show, is that these incredible cherry on the top moments that happen isn't the end. The story is still phenomenal and it still keeps going. I don't think we've ever seen Ahsoka without a headpiece on. Baldy Ahsoka, I love it. She looks so funny, but she's transformed. She's got the white robes on, really cool outfit as well, looking fantastic. But again, it's all about this character transformation she has gone on. But everything from here was just fascinating. I had my jaw to the floor watching this sequence unfold of realizing that they're going to take the Purgle to the new galaxy. This was such I think it foreshadowed really well. I think a lot of people called this, and to my surprise, I called the fact that they're going to hop in the mouth of the Purgle. I didn't think that was going to come true. That was kind of a ridiculous kind of suggestion, but Ahsoka is very keen to get in there. She was very, very chirpy to do that. But this whole scene is really beautiful. All these, everything came together for these end scenes. The music swelling, it was insanely good. It was so powerful. The visuals of it was incredible. Seeing all the Purgle flying towards the New Republic ship was beautiful. Everything was perfect. And seeing the Purgle charge up and blast off was amazing. What I did find interesting though is that Hera and Jason are not going with them. But I have a theory. I think that in the last minute, there was a shot of a Purgle that was just in front of their ship. I think the last minute, the Purgle's tentacles grabbed the ghost and has taken them with him. But we'll see in less than a week if that is true or not. But I have a feeling that maybe they accidentally got going as well in the very last moment. But with all these plot points together, this is an incredible episode. It is powerful. It is Force-centered. We get incredible character moments. And like I said before, is that I love how this show isn't balancing on, oh, we've got this really great cameo that makes this show amazing. It's balancing on a really powerful story. A powerful story of overcoming adversity and character transformation, and you can always find the light. Those 3 points I think are really key to make this show really important and to make people really connect with this show. And this episode just propelled that a 1,000-fold. I have to give this one a 9.5 out of 10. Surprisingly, I think I slightly love episode 4 more than this. That kind of shocks me, but it's still 9.5, come on. But let me know down in the comments what you thought of this episode. I'd love to hear it. And make sure you're joining us in our live streams we're having every week here on the Race Side for more Star Wars community and entertainment. Make sure you always choose the Race Side.